There are certain things that I just don't fucking understand. Um, I don't understand it. I certainly don't know when it happened, but I don't understand why it happened. I don't understand why National Geographic went from those yellow books that were very educational, and I would open them up, and I would see elephants, and I would see giraffes, and they would explain to me what the fuck an elephant was, and they would tell me like how giraffes fuck, or they would do something similar, and they would go into detail about animals. They would tell me about societies and natures and all this other shit. And then I don't know when that went to them having shows like fucking Wicked Tuna. Yeah, that's a show. Like that fucking happened. That there's a show called Wicked Tuna. And you're not hearing me say it wrong. I don't even fucking like I don't grasp how television works now. I don't get it. I don't. There are shows that go away that have a lot of care and time put into them. But if the show is really stupid, it doesn't end. And there are outliers. There are stuff like Law and Order, which very formulaic but not dumb. And it's been around for fucking ever. And I don't know if I'll be alive in a world that does not have Law and Order. Like that just doesn't even feel right. But for the most part, it's like, okay, Firefly, you get 14 episodes because Fox is stupid and showed your show out of order and people didn't watch the shit and etc. Real Housewives, there are like some 5 combinations of housewives, and here's the deal with that. They don't even have to be fucking married to be housewives. I'm sorry. They don't have to be married to be real housewives. They can just be a woman on the show. Not a wife at all. And they don't change the name. Or they don't kick her the fuck off because she's not a housewife. They don't fucking care. They don't care. And there are how many seasons of that shit? Love and Hip Hop is something to where if I didn't know other shows, it would ban me mentally from television. I'd be like, that is not the box for me. That is not the medium for me. Like it just no. I've seen it. It's fucking atrocious. Like, to me, I don't want to hear all of this shit talking about Black Lives Matter and all that carrying on when we can't even have a damn respectful show on television. I don't want to hear it. As long as fucking Empire and fucking Scandal and fucking, like, people be like, oh, Olivia Pope is so awesome. No. And I went over why. But no. And like if we have this fucking black-ish bullshit, we have this bullshit, what the fuck is the name of that show? I don't know. Is the game still on? Like, fuck that show. That show is fucking ridiculous. Like, Meet the Browns and all this bullshit. Like, we have the dumbest Fuck, like when there's something that's like 100% black, a lot of the times it's fucking stupid. And you want to sit up and tell me Black Lives Matter? You ain't fucking like I don't want anybody getting killed in the streets for no reason. I don't want that. I don't want for there to be racism. What I do want is a little bit of let's spread this all the way across the bread. Where it's like, if you're gonna sit up and complain the cops shooting people, I think you need to complain the gangs. I think you need to complain to people making these stupid ass TV shows. I think you need to not watch them so damn much. Like, I know how television works in the sense to where when things get watched, that's how they stay on. And I'm pretty certain it ain't just white folk watching motherfucking Love and Hip Hop. So I think we're leading to a little bit of our own fucking problem. Because TV is a very, very good way for us to represent ourselves. And I don't even fucking believe in race and all that shit. But I do see it and I'm just like, oh, that's supposed to be my team. That's supposed to be my fucking team. Well, then I quit the game. Because this is bullshit. If I'm supposed to be being represented on Blackish, then I might as well just fucking go jump off a bridge. If Olivia Pope is supposed to be wifey material, I'm out. I'm fucking out. Because if you sit up and allow yourself to be a fucking presidential side piece for years, I don't respect you. I just don't. I don't. I do not. I don't give a fuck if you, like, well, okay, if you're homeless, it would make sense. But I don't give a fuck who you are outside of a desperate situation. If you have any pride in yourself, the answer is no. You don't get this poontang when you got a fucking wife. Fucking nasty shit. Anyway, that's another thing I don't understand. This popularity of this bullshit. I don't understand. Is it because people feel so insecure in themselves that they gotta watch something to make them feel superior? It's like they go to work all day and feel like shit, and then they come home and they want to see something that reminds them that they're not the lowest. Like, is that the problem? Because that's pretty fucking sad. You know, what else don't I understand? What the fuck else? I don't understand why dudes are so insistent on fucking begging for anal. Like, I mean, if you're gay, then I get it. But if you're not, there's a perfectly good hole sitting right there. Okay? And I don't know if this experiment has ever been tried, but I would love to see the polls. Just go up and ask hetero dudes if they're just tired of vagina. Just go ask them. I don't give a fuck if they're married. I don't give a fuck if they're single. I don't care. I don't care. Just go ask them. Just go up, fucking ask them. Especially if it's like, just take a poll of women and be like, how many of your men beg for anal? And then just go pick those dudes and ask them. Like, hey man, are you tired of vagina? And he's gonna look at you and he's gonna fucking laugh. Because that question is preposterous. So if that's the case, why the fuck the big deal about anal? Anal is where shit lives. And shit might not be at home at the time. But I mean, it's like fucking your best friend's girl. Why would you risk that? You know, like, it's possible to do it and not get caught. Like, that's possible. It's possible to go up in there and come out and not have shit on you. It's possible. But why would you risk that? There's no fucking reason. You got your own girlfriend right over here. Go fuck them. You know, like, you got your own, you got a nice, perfect hole just sitting there. Woman attached to it. Loves you to go in there. Fantastic. But you gotta be a douchebag talking about something. Well, I bet this hole tighter. Really? Really? Okay, maybe it's because you've never really seen an asshole bleed before. Like, I don't think dudes really understand the kind of like what they're, like the fate that they're tempting. You know? Like, if you go in there, alright, first of all, if this ain't your wife, you should never even bring anal up at all, ever. Just no. Just no. You don't get that. Because if some shit go wrong in there and you come out and there's like crazy blood and all this shit and you done ruptured something and she has to live differently for the rest of her life, like, again, why the fuck would you risk that when you're clearly not tired of the vag? So what the fuck is the problem? You know? Like, people weird me out. People weird me the fuck out. And, like, there have been things that I've done to weird myself out. And there have been times when I've done things that have been strange. Like, there was this one thing. And I was going to bed. It was really late. And I was walking past the bathroom. Well, no, I hadn't made it to the bathroom yet. I was walking towards the bathroom and I felt this flick like behind my ear or something. And I got this really fucking crazy phobia of insects. Like, I've got a thing where I freeze up and like shit goes ridiculous in my brain. And it's just like, dude, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get them off you, then get the fuck out. Like, that's what my brain tells my body to do. So I flick like a crazy person. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? And of course it's the middle of the night, but I'm not super loud or anything. I just, shake violently and try and get whatever it is. And so I go to the bathroom, or I'm going like past it, and I see the shape of a spider on the floor, right? And so I see it, and I know that spiders aren't insects. I get that, but I got a problem with them too. So maybe we can just say I have a problem with critters. All right. So anywho, I call my dog over because I'm like, I'm not going over there. I call my dog over. She comes by and she steps over the fucking thing and goes behind me. I'm just like, well, fuck. Because I'm thinking, she's going to just like stop at it, sniff, maybe try and hit it with a paw, maybe kill it. Things be cool. But no, she just steps over, runs past, whatever. And that just sucked. And so I just sit there and I look at her, and then I go back in the back of the kitchen and I get a shoe, and I muster my courage and I approach, and then like I'm not even necessarily trying to kill it, and I'm just trying to like shoo it so that I can get past, right? But then I approach it and then I see another one immediately next to it. So now I'm really freaking the fuck out. I'm like, why the fuck is this thing? Like, are they trying to colonize? Like, what the fuck is, like, are they communicating? Are they talking about me? What the fuck's going on here? But I keep going. I keep moving. And then I realize that it's just a pattern in the fucking wood on the floor. And this leads me to another thing that I don't understand is why the fuck does the world get so damn ridiculous when you're tired? Like, why does that happen? I don't know why that fucking happens, but it's weird. Like, things in the world just your brain just sees shit that's not even fucking there, and more shit that is, and the stuff it ain't, and all this other shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, and that one is probably Googleable. That one I could probably look up, but like the rest of the stuff, and you know, like that sort of, like, I don't fucking understand. I don't. And then you can't, like, here's the most frustrating thing about living with the brain that I have. Okay? I can't just go up and ask a person any of the shit that I've gone over during the entirety of this one-sided discussion. There is no fucking way I could just approach somebody and just be like, yo, man, why the fuck do you care about anal? Like, for real. Why do you give a shit? Why do you care? Why is it a thing to you? Why is it even something you would ask for? I can't go up and ask somebody that. I can't even ask somebody close to me that, because they're not going to feel comfortable sharing that. And that's not even a bad thing on them. It's just the world we're in. Like, I don't feel like I am growing up in a time that's suitable for me on that level. Like, I just wish that we were in a time where you could just walk up and ask anybody anything and they would just assume you were being a dick. You know? Like, I don't understand the whole dick pussy thing. Like, somehow when you call somebody a pussy, they're a coward, because apparently women are cowards. But then when you call somebody a dick, then they're just not being a good person, because men aren't good people. And those are very, very broad strokes to put on genitalia. You know? Like, that's weird. It's just, I don't know. It's just stuff that I just do not understand. Don't understand. But on that note, yeah, that's it for me. I'm out, and I'm just gonna stay confused. I'm gonna stay confused on these matters, because, like, they ain't changing. They ain't going nowhere. I don't have the power to make these things right in the world, but it's okay. I just bring them up in these sort of things and hopefully get a giggle or two out of some people. But anywho, that's it. I'm done.